We might need to shut it all down. AI governance seems more important than ever, and technical research is quite challenged at the moment. Welcome to this week's update. We've also renamed our newsletter to the AI Safety Digest, and we'll make a few changes accordingly over the next few weeks, so prepare for those. We need to shut it all down. This is the wording in a new Time magazine article where Eliezer Yudkowsky urges us to stop the development towards artificial general intelligence completely before it's too late. He refers to a recent open letter signed by over 1,800 researchers and experts in AI, urging the world to stop the training of larger than GPT-4 models for at least 6 months. It is receiving a lot of criticisms from all fronts, for either not taking the existential risk seriously enough or for being alarmist without any reason. The letter's perception has been negatively affected by Elon Musk's controversial inclusion, and many people even seem not to have read it, while assuming it is about banning all AI research, which is clearly not, as mentioned above. In addition, the criticism that it is not focused enough on existential risk seems to miss that it has had a positive influence on what has been talked about in the media, with a lot of the researchers being called out for interviews in a vast array of different local media. In addition, the criticism that it is not focused enough on existential risk seems to miss that it has had a large positive impact on what is now being talked about in the public sphere. Nearly everyone in the research field has been interviewed about this letter, and it represents a great leap forward for the conversation on AI safety. As part of the release of the open letter, the Center for AI and Digital Policy even filed a complaint to the FTC about OpenAI's release of GPT-4. If this leads to an FTC investigation, we might end up with more government control on large artificial intelligence systems, which seems like a pretty good thing given the fast development. In the context of this letter, we also held the AI Governance Ideathon this past weekend, as AI governance is of course becoming much more relevant in terms of being able to control the safety of these systems. More than 120 people participated from across 7 continents, so that's nearly all of them, with local jam sites in 6 of these. The submissions were amazing, and here we'll quickly summarize a few of them. First, there was a proposal to implement data taxation, which won the first prize. It presents a formula to tax large model training runs, such as GPT-4, without costing anything for smaller, narrow AI models such as cancer detection in MRI images. The method is also quite robust to most tax avoidance schemes. Another submission dove deep into how AI governance is highly relevant in developing countries and why we want to make sure it develops well, especially in the light of China's influence in, for example, Africa and Southeast Asia. We also saw a global coordination scheme for slowing down AGI by constructing an international oversight body that collaborates and regulates countries and companies towards safe AI. A technical project also used GPT-4 to evaluate different project proposals, AI project proposals. Despite the limited results, it presented some of the first steps towards actually automating an auditing of these different projects. Additionally, the NIRA proposal gives a detailed plan to establish a US department, such as the Food and Drug Administration, to control AI development. And a market dynamics proposal wants to create AI-based watchmen to provide the best grounds for healthy competition between AI models and give a good overview of economics and AI safety, and the combination of these two. Another submission proposes to rank companies based on how safety-focused their activities are, something that might be useful in the context of public procurement contracts, and to establish a better public perspective on organizations in AGI development. A Canadian team also made a simulation of different avatars using GPT-4 that led to great discussions about AI safety with Margrethe Vestager, Jack Sparrow, and various other simulated identities. And as ARC evals are being developed, a proposal focuses on legislation to ensure that these become requirements before publishing large models, such as GPT-4. And also, in 1985, environmental impact assessments were implemented in the European Union and have prevented a lot of negatively impacting development projects. With the proposal for AI impact assessments, we try to use the same process to put it to use for large model training scenarios. And you can read all the projects on the Ideathon page, or watch the award ceremony on our YouTube channel as well. Now, with releases such as LangChain, the Sapien Natural Language API, and ChatGPT plugins, such as these, we see higher risks emerging from hooking up large language systems with the internet in various ways. You can now even talk to your watch to request GPT-4 to program on GitHub for you. Quite amazing. And with these levels of progress, it seems like the main advances we need in AI safety at the moment are related to the evaluation and certification of how dangerous future systems are, and to create techniques that are specifically applicable to future systems like large language models. A good example of this is the Alignment Research Center's evaluation on language models for their capability to break out of their digital confines. In a recent article, they expand more on their work represented in the GPT-4 system card. GPT-4 was given instructions on how to use internet tools, and given the help of a scientist as a liaison to the web, it ran on a cloud instance and ended up hiring a TaskRabbit worker, which is a sort of freelance do-it-all worker, to solve CAPTCHAs on the internet, and even dissuaded the TaskRabbit worker from thinking it was a robot by saying it had poor eyesight. Quite fascinating. Luckily, it was not capable enough to do good long-term planning to escape, though we must remember that this was probably without further tooling added, such as the pinecone functioning, and we are still expecting GPT-5 and GPT-6 to have some more and larger capabilities. So it is both a scary and exciting time ahead. With this fast development, we of course see just as many opportunities within the space as usual. So you can join us in a couple of weeks for another interpretability hackathon with Neil Nanda, where we give you clear guidelines for how to do exciting things with neural networks, interpretability, along with 48 hours and a deadline. So come along, either virtually or by hosting a local jam site. Join our Discord to stay up to date as well, where we will post most announcements. And come along for the launch event for the newly founded European Network for AI Safety, a decentralized organization for coordination across Europe on AI safety issues. Also, the Stanford AI 100 essay writing competition is still in progress and invites you to write how you think AI will affect our lives in the future. And if you're very, very fast, you can join a course on information security with a former Google information security officer with a deadline tomorrow. So, thank you very much for following along, and we look forward to seeing you next time as well.